Hi, my name is Tommy Kelly.
What's going on, everybody? This is Ion Health here, and for my next interview, I've been willing to change my schedule around to get this guy on because I want to hear his story. I'm pretty sure it's going to be interesting. Could you please give everybody your first name and your channel name?
My name is Thomas Kelly and my channel name is Tommy's Recovery Journal.
So, where are you from, Tommy?
I'm from Ayrshire in Scotland.
Nice. I want to see that place. How is it there? Is it like...
Well, it's really good at times, but we got a lot of bad weather. Even our summers are not too hot, but it's just one of those things about Scotland.
Huh. That's interesting. Could you lower the microphone on your...
Yeah.
Could you lower the sound on your... What are you using, your laptop?
Yes,
Can you talk to us about your eating habits before... What was your lifestyle like before?
Yeah, it was absolutely great before. I was actually a semi-professional footballer, and I was with Scotland under-16s, and my eating habits were great. I used to enjoy everything in moderation. I would have like a good diet, and I would have like snacks and things, and I obviously enjoyed my chocolate and things like that as treats and things. I never had any problems with eating at all, and I never ever had any eating disorder thoughts or anything. I was really a fit and healthy person. I had plenty of friends and a happy life.
What other kind of foods were you eating?
I was basically all kind of high protein because I was obviously, as I say, I was a footballer with Scotland under 16, so I would have like things like chicken, rice, a lot of obviously carbohydrate based things like pasta and things like that.
So they did advocate eating carbohydrates when you're being more active, right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it's obviously to give you that sustained energy.
Gotcha. So talk to me about what happened after that. What was your situation?
Well, my mum was really ill for 17 years. She had cancer when she was giving birth to me, and she obviously had the choice to live with the cancer and have me or terminate me, and she would probably be free of the cancer. So up until I was 17-year-old, she battled a lot of different terminal cancers, cancer of the breast, cancer of the face, bone cancer, and she eventually died when I was 17, and my eating disorder really started then. I remember that we were going to register her death, and I turned round to my dad and I said that I wasn't going to eat sweets and that again, and that was where it all started. My grandfather died the month before my mum, and then my mum the month after, so it was like two deaths in the one time, and the next couple of years my weight was just going down and down and down, and I was going to the doctor all the time and obviously telling him that I was worried about my weight, but they kept kind of pushing you away, saying that it was depression and things like that, because I think there's this kind of stigma that eating disorders are a female illness and you just don't get taken seriously. So I eventually went away to Australia to visit my family in the year 2000, which was 3 years later, and I was away down to 4 stone at this point, and I come back off the plane coming from Australia, and I arrived at Glasgow, and I took a massive heart attack, and I was admitted to Gartnavel Hospital in Glasgow, and I was actually dead for 9 minutes at that point.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah.
So what... I'm sorry, continue. Go ahead.
I didn't actually think they were going to get me resuscitated, but luckily enough there was a doctor in from India, and he decided to ask him if he could do a last resort thing, and they inserted a drain into my lung and it got my heart started, and I woke up and I actually thought I was in heaven, because I actually had people may not believe this, but I had a near-death experience, and I actually seen my mum, and my mum says to me, she says, "You get back there, son, you've got a lot of damage to do in this world." And when I woke up and I said to the nurse, "Am I in heaven?" Because I seen all these clouds, and she says, "No, you're in Gart Naval Hospital, you've been in a potassium coma for 3 months."
Wow.
So a massive heart attack and a potassium coma. And that was actually, at that point, that was when I got diagnosed with my actual eating disorder, which was 3 years later.
So when obviously you were really traumatized, what was so you just stopped eating completely, or you just stopped eating a certain kind of food, or what?
Really a certain kind of food. I was really limiting my food. I would be down to like a little bit of ham and a little bit of cheese and an apple a day, and I was just like filling myself up on water and soda and things like that, to obviously keep you that kind of situation, to make you feel as if you're full. I wasn't even realising that I wasn't eating. Everybody was saying to me, "Oh, you've got an eating disorder, you've got an eating disorder," but I was basically saying to them all, "How could I have an eating disorder? I'm a footballer, and men don't get an eating disorder." But you just don't believe it when you've got an eating disorder. That's eating disorder taking over. It's obviously, it thrives on the secrecy and things.
Right. So were you playing sports while you were reducing your calories?
Yeah, I was, but I eventually had to give it up, because when I actually get admitted to hospital, when I had that heart attack, I eventually got nerve damage and sciatic damage in my leg, and I've got no feeling in below the knee, and I can't move my toes, so that finished my footballing career.
So when you were you were reducing your calories, but the only thing that you would eat would be meat and cheese and fill up on water and soda, right?
That's correct, yes.
So even though you were consuming less calories, you still were able to have a heart problem that caused you to have a heart attack?
Yes, definitely, yeah.
Oh, man.
I was really only getting roughly about 300 calories a day, roughly.
Yeah, because I find that, because a lot of people, the ones that I know that I'm around, they criticize the way I eat. Yeah. Saying that I eat a lot because I'm eating mostly plants, so I eat a higher quantity. But they eat little bit, and they say that just a little bit is not going to do any damage. But I mean, your situation pretty much shows that even if you are eating a little bit, it still causes significant amount of damage.
That's what a lot of people don't understand. Even people in eating disorders, they think that they don't actually eat, but that they do eat, but just very, very, very little, unfortunately.
So did it stem? I'm trying to get to the psychology part of it. Did it come to you because did you see a connection between cancer and diet, or was it a body image thing that made you want to decrease your calories? Basically
just a way to cope with the grief of losing my mum and things like that, and my grandfather, and it's been a thing that's happened all my life. It's just a coping mechanism. I relapsed way back in 2005 when my wife actually got diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and she had to have a full hysterectomy. Because she was diagnosed as polycystic ovarian syndrome. She had 4 miscarriages. It turned out it was ovarian cancer all along. So I relapsed then. I was taken into hospital, and I was 6 months in there again. And I was on a gradual refeeding diet, because when they tried to refeed me, my body went into shock, which can happen in eating disorder recovery, and it brought on a second heart attack.
Wow. So even the treatment that they were trying to do for you was causing more harm then?
Yes,
So what?
Because you've obviously restricted all that length of time, your body just goes into shock when they're trying to reintroduce calories to you.
Right. What kind of calories were they introducing to you again?
It's basically just like a peg feeding tube, like
tube.
the nose, and obviously I had a tube in my stomach as well. So they were doing that, and they were trying to give me like a small quantity of like normal food, like porridge in the morning and a sandwich and things like that. And it gradually took about, it was like 400 calories one week, 500 calories the next week, and it took about 6 months to actually get me up to 2,000 calories.
Wow. So in Scotland, what's the primary, is it a big meat and cheese country, or what?
Yeah, it really is, but it's actually getting a lot better. For a lot of people are actually going vegan, and we're beginning to see a lot of vegan restaurants popping up, and especially Glasgow and Edinburgh. It's getting really, really big for veganism, so it's making a big change. So hopefully they can tide's turning in that way.
Yeah, I hope so. So, what steps have you taken to help your situation out? Have you watched anything or seen a doctor focusing on the disorder, or what?
I've actually got an eating disorder therapist that I see daily at my home. She comes in, she gives me cognitive behavioural therapy and things like that, and they didn't let me go vegan until the start of this year, because after all the relapses I've had, my father died in November 2014 there, and that was my last time I was in hospital. That was my third relapse, and I got taken in there, and I had suffered from renal failure. My kidneys started to shut down, my liver started to shut down, and I was 6 months in there, because I had been looking after my dad for a long, long time, and he suffered a massive stroke and a heart attack, and he was 4 months in ICU, and it was just a matter of time before he passed. And all that worry of looking after my dad and seeing him not getting worse and worse and worse just didn't get me to the point of getting healthier. And I get relapsed, and I came out in January 2015, and I told them that I definitely wanted to go vegan this time, because I knew that this was going to help me, and I wanted to do it for the animals. So they told me that as long as I stuck to the diet and proved that I was doing it for the right reasons and I gained weight, that they would fully support me, and they really have, and it's been absolutely great, and it's taken away all these eating disorder thoughts, knowing that what you're doing is not only helping yourself but helping the animals as well, and knowing that what you're putting in your body is really, really good food. It takes away the eating disorder thoughts and things. It's really been a great way of recovering.
So you're telling me that you have to comply with their diet plan in order for you to be able to switch to a vegan diet?
Yes,
So what kind of a diet plan do they have you on?
Well, they've basically told me 3 meals and 3 snacks a day, and my calorie intake's got to be between 3,000 and 3,500, because obviously I've got a lot of your calories actually go to repair the internal organs before they actually gain weight. And I've actually been suffering a thing called hypermetabolism, which happens in eating disorder recovery. That's basically where your metabolism goes through the roof, so it's very, very hard at the start to put it on actual weight, because you're burning up all your calories. You suffer things like night sweats and things, and obviously as well I suffered the refeeding syndrome a bit as well, where I started to get edema and swelling in the legs and things. So but this is all settled down now, and I'm actually getting all the calories in that I need, and things are going absolutely great.
That's awesome. So you said the last time that you relapsed was when your father was in the hospital? Has there been anything else after that?
No, I've been absolutely great this time. I've totally been in recovery. It's just been for some reason things have just clicked. I really get myself upset, because I wish I could have done it for my dad when he was hearing things, but I know he's up there watching over me, and I want to do it for him and my wife. And obviously the most important thing is doing it for yourself, and I'm helping so many people on YouTube and things, and I do a lot in Parliament for Eating Disorder UK as well, for Be charity in the UK, and I spoke at Parliament. I've been in a lot of newspapers and things, so this has been a great motivation, and knowing that I'm helping a lot of people has really, really kept me on the road to get myself better, and to obviously to be able to help others.
That is awesome. So have you ever, in terms of veganism, what type of, what have you been educating yourself with? What do you know about it in terms of what to eat? Are you trying to adopt eating more whole foods, plant-based, or just...
Yeah, just plant-based. I'm just absolutely going just vegan. I don't like this idea of like raw tofu and things like that. I feel that's buying into kind of disordered eating, because especially if you're coming from an eating disorder background, if you start cutting out things like proteins and fats, you're not going to recover. You're going to recover maybe in the body weight side of things, but you're not going to recover mental side. It's about creating a good relationship with all the macronutrients and food groups, and that's what I've done. My eating disorder specialist did tell me that if I was coming to veganism, I would need to adopt the same kind of food groups that I did in a standard American diet, but now veganised.
Right. So have you ever eaten an avocado?
Oh yes, I love avocados. Yes.
Those are tasty.
Absolutely. Oh, I absolutely love that. I love things like avocados, my tofu curries. I love things like nuts, seeds, legumes, all fake meats and things like that. Vegan cheesecakes, vegan donuts.
Oh, man, you're making me hungry, man. It's breakfast. That's cool, man. So, has there been any type of mental steps that you can share with maybe someone else that might be suffering from the same situation that they can do to help alleviate some of the stress? Like, do you have any advice for those that might be going through the same thing?
Yeah, well, the thing that I do with my eating disorder specialist is a thing called the Maudsley effect. It's basically where what you do is you counteract the eating disorder voice. So if you just say your eating disorder voice tells you that you're fat and things like that, you challenge that voice. And if it tells you that you shouldn't eat these calories, you tell it, oh wait a minute, I've got to eat those calories. That calories are my medicine. That's what's going to get me better. So it's about learning that this is not your voice, that's the eating disorder voice, and doing what's best for you and getting you in recovery. And that's what you've got to do, and it really, really helps.
That's awesome. What are your thoughts about? Because you mentioned raw tofu. So when you hear like Durian Rider or maybe Freely say that you should. It might be better for those with eating disorders to have smoothies, because it's a good way to introduce a good amount of calories without having the feeling of having to chew your food or like that mental block that you have to eat a big quantity of food. But if you're having liquid calories, it's a better way to introduce nutrients to your body. Like, is there any truth to that, or do you think there's a better way than doing that?
No, I thoroughly disagree with that. My eating disorder specialist has told me that as well. They did say that things like smoothies and things are a great thing to have over and above your food, but it's about getting that relationship, that good relationship with your food, because your main basis of your diet should become from your whole foods, like your meats and your seeds, your legumes, whatever. And
right.
But the extra calories, obviously, it's a good way to add in over and above to compensate and supplement your diet, but that should not base your diet.
Gotcha. So it's better. So you're saying it's better to get your mental game up in order to accommodate and to overcome this. I got you. So talk to me. What's your favorite go-to meal right now? What are you enjoying to eat right now?
Well, I love things for like my breakfast. I love things like oats with peanut butter and things like that, and obviously seeds and things in it. And my kind of lunch and things, I love to have things like burritos, bean and rice burritos, wraps and with tofu wraps and things like that. My dinners at night, I love things like seitan, tempeh curries, basic vegan pies, things like that. I love things like that, and vegan pizza. I obviously love my peanut butter and pancakes for snacks and things like that, and vegan chocolate, vegan cheesecakes, things. That's basically my kind of favourite meals, and obviously I love to add in things like my almond milks and things like that as well.
That's really good. So you said you spoke in front of Parliament, you said, in terms of your situation?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
What type of things have you shared with them?
I shared with them that basically how they could improve eating disorder treatment and care in the hospitals, because basically in this country it's really, really bad, because there's not a lot of eating disorder specialist units. So basically what they do is they send you into a psychiatric unit. So you get sent in there, and basically they haven't got a great idea of eating disorders. They basically just, you're in there to feed you up, basically. They'll sit and watch you, and you'll gradually gain weight, but at the end of the day they're not actually dealing with the mental issue that is the eating disorder problem. So it's basically, if you can imagine it, it's like getting sent in with a broken leg and get sent back out with a bandage. So you're going back out into the community with the problem that you've got there, and they're not dealing with the mental issue that's actually that really is. That's what people don't understand. They think it's all about the weight and getting on the weight, but it's actually the mental issue that you've really got to deal with. But obviously you've got to get to a very healthy BMI, so you've got the cognitive ability, because your brain's starved with not getting the nutrients and things. So you've got to get to that state before you can actually deal with the mental side of things. But they really should be dealing more with that when you're in there, and instead of dealing with it in the community, and you go back out and you've got the chance at likely to relapse and things.
That's right. So they don't deal with the mental part. Is that something that you would be interested? Maybe they can bring you in. Would you be willing to help others in terms of
definitely,
the
definitely,
mental game?
yes.
Okay. That's good. What? How long has it been since have you been suffering from this eating disorders? How long? How many years?
19 years, since 1997, since my mum died.
So you have a good amount of experience.
Oh, definitely. It's half my life nearly now.
So do you think that when you get to healthy weight, however you feel, you'll be able to play football again?
No, I'll definitely never be able to play football again, because of obviously the damage it's done to. I've got osteoporosis and things, and like I say, the nerve damage done to my leg, and I've obviously got quite a bit of damage done to the internal organs. But now it's I can't repair that damage, but staying healthy will prevent it from getting any worse. So it's the most important thing is getting myself in that healthy place so I can help other people, and that's what I love doing, because I just love to help others, and I don't want anybody to go down this same road that I have. And I think eating disorders are glamorised quite a bit, so I like to let people know that the dangers that's really there.
Yeah, that was the next thing I wanted to bring up, because a lot of people, even me, I would recognize eating disorders to be something more for the female population, but there really isn't a lot of information for men out there. So it's good for you to be one of those voices to help other men, other men, or even anybody that's involved in that situation. Cause
that's male and females.
There's not a lot of information.
I think a lot of the problem is because of the stigma. A lot of men are scared to come forward until obviously they're eating disorders at a very, very advanced stage, and it's at the state of being a hospital admission and things. But there's a lot of people out there that are male, and it's just basically they're not coming forward. So,
talk to me about your wife. Is she doing better now? Is she thinking about adopting a vegan diet, or not really?
Well, she's still quite ill. She's got a lot of problems, obviously, because she had a hysterectomy. Now she's got double incontinence and things like that, and she takes a lot of fits and things, so her health's quite bad. But she was actually vegetarian at one point, but her cancer specialist nurse that stopped her from doing any vegetarian lifestyle because she had a lot of iron deficiency problems. But I don't really agree with that, because I don't feel that you really need red meats to get your iron in, but they're just not willing to let her adopt any kind of veggie or vegan lifestyle.
No, I think all you really need is just to eat more beans. I think beans are high in iron.
Definitely.
You know,
definitely, yes.
Just have more black beans, and I'm pretty sure because from what I researched, or from what I remember, I got bad memory, but looking at the China study and all that stuff, they would say that the milk protein is really what causes or causes growth in cancer. So that's probably the downfall of vegetarian diets, because you are allowed to have a lot of cheese and milk. So I'm pretty sure that could have been I don't know her case in particular, but I'm just assuming that maybe that could have been a contributor to. Yeah,
definitely. It definitely is. When you think of it, all these things are linked to cancers and things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could be something that in the future, you guys can attack and deal with.
Definitely, yeah.
So, what is your plans for veganism? What are you going to be? When are you going to transition fully, or are you already?
Yeah, I've transitioned fully. I went vegan overnight. I just fully vegan overnight since January this year. I just threw myself into it, and I says if I was going to do it, I was going to do it fully. I'm one of these kind of people that I don't do anything and be half-hearted. I just throw myself into it, and I did it, and it's been the best thing ever.
That is awesome. So, talk to me about your stats. You said that you've gained some weight now, so you're doing a little bit better?
Yeah, I've gained roughly 10 kilos in the last 4 months.
Nice.
I was away down at 37 kilos. I'm now up to 47.6.
Is there a lot of good ripe fruits over there?
Yeah, we've got a lot of good seasonal things, obviously, like strawberries and things like that. But quite a lot of the fruits are quite expensive. Like mangoes are expensive, and we don't get many things like dragon fruits and things. These are very, very expensive. But we've got a lot of good, obviously, your staples like your bananas and pears and things like that.
Those are
apples.
Those are good prices, right?
Oh yeah, they're really good. Yeah.
Okay. Do you like bananas? Are you a banana person?
Oh, I love bananas. That's something. Bananas, and I add peanut butter to it and things like that.
Oh man, I love it. Have you ever tried the banana ice cream?
Oh yeah, I make that quite often, and what I do is I add in cocoa powder into it and make it so it's like a banana and peanut butter and cocoa ice cream.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to try that.
Oh, it's delicious.
That is nice. Have you gone out to any vegan meetups or festivals? Is there any vegan festivals by you, or?
Yeah, there's a monthly one at the Flying Duck in Glasgow, so I go there, and I'm actually going there this Saturday, so it's held at each month, so it's really, really good.
What do they usually have on display there?
They have a lot of different things, obviously, all your cosmetic things, and a lot of different baking products like vegan pies, vegan pizza, vegan chocolates, vegan cakes, things like obviously like they do like things like vegan clothing, vegan shoes, a lot of different companies.
That is awesome. Have you gotten any support from your wife in terms of switching to a vegan lifestyle?
Oh yeah, my wife's fully supported me. Like she said, as long as I was doing it and I was getting healthier, she was fully supporting me. And she really has. She's been my rock. I love her so much, and for all we've been through, we support each other, and that's what it's all about.
That's good, man. That's real good. Is there anything that you want to do you want to get off your chest? Anything that's on your mind that you want people to know about?
No, I just say to everybody that recovery is possible, but you've just really got to want it, and it's a lot of people say that eating disorders are a choice. That's far from the truth. Eating disorders are not a choice, but recovery is. And I would just say that if you're going to go be vegan, just be just vegan, because that's the most important thing. Don't buy into things like raw tofu and things like that. I really don't think that's a good way of trying to recover from your eating disorder.
So, have you spoken to anybody that's followed the raw tofu diet that might have had an eating disorder, or maybe read something about it?
Yeah, I've spoken to quite a few people, and they basically said that it caused a lot of issues with them, and they never get out of that stage of having the eating disorder, and they relapsed and things like that. And it wasn't until they actually went just vegan that they fully turned the corner.
So when you say just vegan, what describe that for other people that may not know. What do you, what's the difference between like raw tofu and just vegan?
Well, just vegan, basically just having like all your proteins, your fats, your carbs, things like hummus, avocados.
So no restricting as long as it's vegan, pretty much.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Gotcha. That is good. So when so do you feel like you've been improving a little bit better adopting the vegan diet when you were being re-fed before doing your standard diet over there?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Okay. Has the doctor say anything about it? Did they try to discourage you from going?
Definitely. A lot of the doctors over here don't agree with vegan lifestyle. I mean, especially when you get into hospital, they don't let you adopt a vegan lifestyle in the hospital. You've got to eat a normal diet. It's just something that they don't condone, because they reckon it's an eating disorder behaviour, which you know fine only too well that it's not like that. But a lot of people can obviously use a vegan diet to mask their eating disorder, to restrict foods and things, but it's a crazy way that the doctors think. They just don't think it's healthy, and they don't let you adopt it in the hospital.
Right. So what do you know of any information that's out there that other people can maybe look for as a resource to help them?
Yeah, the Be8 in the UK, they will let you know any information about eating disorders, and they can give you information that you can get for community help in your community and things like that. And they can obviously help you online. You can go online anonymously and speak to them. They're an absolutely great charity, and I've done a lot helping with them as well, and I thoroughly recommend them.
Could you repeat that again? What was the name?
Be8.
Be8.
Okay,
very good. So make sure you check out Be8 and get all.
And obviously, in Men and Boys Eating Disorder Service, they're based in Scotland as well, and you've got Men Get Eating Disorders too. They're in the UK as well. They're a fully good one if you're obviously a man and you want to speak to other men if you've got an eating disorder.
That is awesome. So in terms of your situation, it was more of a grieving that was the cause of it, right? You didn't have a body image problem. No. So that was just like you said, a coping mechanism.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
So what kind of things have you learned to help you for the next time you might need to cope with a stressful situation? Do you have a backup plan so that you won't fall into the same trap?
Yeah, obviously my eating disorder specialist told me to speak out right away, because if you bottle the situation up, it'll obviously get worse, and obviously your eating disorder thrives on the stress. So it's basically using like a different coping skill. So like times like the grieving process, like anniversaries of my father's passing and things like that, basically to celebrate it rather than looking at the bad times. Look at the good times you have. Obviously going to the cemetery, putting down flowers, speaking to them and celebrating it rather than looking at the bad side of things, and really making yourself get around in that circle.
That's awesome. So talk to me just to get another side of you when you're not doing this. speaking to Parliament and all this. What are the things that you enjoy doing? What type of things that bring a smile to your face? What kind of other hobbies do you have?
Well, I love things like I love art, doing art, and I love doing obviously my computers and obviously my YouTube channel, which is a really important one to me. Helping others and my animals. I've actually got 6 dogs, so I do a lot.
6 dogs?
Yes.
Wow.
I've got six dogs, 2 cats, 2 guinea pigs, a dagu, tropical fish, a rabbit. So I'm an absolutely big animal lover. Wow, you got a nice big happy
family there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
that takes up a lot of my time. That's one of my passions, and obviously I'm a spiritual person. I love doing my spirituality and doing obviously for God and things like that as well. That's a big part of my life as well.
Do you go out? Do you go out much? Do you go to out into nature at all, or?
Oh yeah, we go out walking daily with our dogs and things like that, and we get around the woods and a lot of things like that. And I feel that's a great thing. It's getting in touch with nature and things is a great way to recover if you're eating disorder, and obviously getting in tune with nature. It's a great thing to really do. It's something I really recommend.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So, how long have you had your YouTube channel?
That's been just over 5 months. 5
months. So, how's the response been since you've been on YouTube?
Oh, it's been absolutely great. I've been getting great comments, people coming on telling me that what I'm doing is helping them recover, and that's been the best therapy they've ever had. That they've said that I've helped them more than their eating disorder therapist has, because basically we're speaking about the same issues that we've got, and we're helping each other, and it's been absolutely great, and it's been a big motivator for me knowing that what I'm doing is helping others.
That is awesome. Do you have any other any other social media outlets that you want to share? Do you have like a Twitter? Do you have a website or anything you want to share?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram as well. It's Tommy's Recovery Journal, just the same.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to follow you now on Instagram.
I'm on Facebook. It's Thomas David Kelly as well on Facebook.
Awesome. You thinking about doing? I really want you to grow with this, because we need to have more male information out there, because a lot of males don't have someone to relate to or someone to speak to that's had that experience. Yeah. So
definitely.
I really hope that you grow more, have a website, and get like a webinar or like a web series, giving people step by step on what they can do. Maybe they can donate to some local charity while you give them that information, whatever. I hope everything works.
Definitely, that's great. Thanks very much.
Good.
I'm also on you now as well. That's Tommy's Recovery Journal on there as well.
Oh, nice. Okay. You have a Snapchat by any chance? No.
I've not got a Snapchat yet. I was definitely thinking about setting that up shortly, because I seen it's quite popular.
Yeah, man. Think about getting a Snapchat. That way, people can get a more intimate and quick look at what kind of foods you're eating, for your recovery, or just just to talk.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be great.
Cool, Tommy. So, is there anything else you want to share with us? Anything else you want to say?
No, that's absolutely great. I just say that recovery is possible, and I like to help everybody any way I can. If they can come onto my channel, and I'll help them any way I can. Message me of anything at all. I'm here to help, and that's what I want to do.
That's awesome. So make sure you check out. What was it? Tommy's Recovery Journal. Tommy's Recovery Channel. I'll leave a link in the description, and you can go follow him and harass him all day, every day, because that man has a lot of helpful information, and it's good to pick his brain, because he'll show you the right way. So make sure you check out Tommy's Recovery Channel. Check him out on YouNow. Check him out on Facebook. Check him out on Instagram, and pretty soon check him out on Snapchat.
Tommy's Recovery Journal.
Tommy's Recovery Channel. Thanks a lot, brother. I really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. Thanks very much, and nice to speak to you.
Yeah, man, same here. I hope we can have you on for another one down the road.
That'd be great, definitely. Thanks very much, and have a lovely day. And remember, guys, binge on life, purge negativity, and starve guilty feelings. Speak to you all soon, and love you so much.